title on their own patch. Rob McLean has the story of a fascinating afternoon.
In cold, factual terms, this is not a title decider. But the next 90 minutes between Rangers and Celtic will have a huge bearing on where the title ends up at the end of this season. The crunch match is about to begin. Rangers make two changes from the side which started last Sunday's Cup semi-final victory at Celtic Park. Goran Petric is injured, but the man who replaced him at Parkhead, Lorenzo Amoruso, would have been promoted to the first 11 in any case. The return of Gordon Durie in place of midfielder Rino Gattuso shows Rangers' attacking intentions. Durie will play alongside the man of the moment, Ali McCoist, who made the breakthrough against Celtic last weekend. His record equalling 27th Old Firm goal and his 7th in the last 6 games. Celtic make one switch after the 2-1 win at Rugby Park on Wednesday. They welcome back Alan Stubbs to the centre of defence, but Morton Vicos is injured, so Phil O'Donnell keeps his place after a couple of impressive outings. Jackie McNamara had a recurrence of ankle trouble yesterday, but Tom Boyd and Rico Annoni have both recovered. Henrik Larsson's goal in that hugely important win at Kilmarnock was his first in more than 6 weeks. The Swedish striker has been highly influential, and his form here and in the last few games will have a big say in Celtic's title bid. The referee is Hugh Dallas. Rangers kick off, eagerly anticipated, doesn't quite cover it. Rangers on the back of 5 straight wins, which has really turned their season around and given them real belief that they can rocket their way back into strong title contention. And there's Darren Jackson holding his place in the Celtic side. His battling qualities in no doubt, and he's battled his way back into Wim Janssen's thoughts. Jackson waiting for it to come to him. Missed by Annoni. Brian Laudrup stealing a couple of yards on him. Durie and McCoist in the middle. Annoni got back to tuck the ball behind, conceding a corner kick and making up that fresh air shot he had, which released Laudrup. Chelsea bound Laudrup, keen to make a big impression before he goes. Goff, who scored against Celtic the last twice he's played them here at Ibrox, flicked away by O'Donnell. Back in from Jonas Tern. Picked up by Stuart McCall. Brian Laudrup. Albert's outside him. It's a good ball in. It was curling wickedly away from Jonathan Gould and turned behind by Phil O'Donnell. Real quality on the ball played in here from Alberts. And the last Old Firm match as Rangers manager for Walter Smith. That's for Henrik Larsson, good control under pressure from his fellow Swede, Bjorklund. Darren Jackson. Well worth the effort, a couple of yards outside the area. It was left by O'Donnell to Jackson to have the shot at goal. This kick from Reaper, fortunate that it found Burley. Jackson to Donnelly. Rolls it for Larsson. Good play by Henrik Larsson. Good skill, and this will be the first yellow card of the match. Amoruso was booked last Sunday. He's booked again. Beaten for pace and for skill by Larsson. Shrug of the shoulders, a shake of the head from Amoruso. He knows these yellow cards will mount up. Missed by Albert. Lambert, Jackson, Larsson. Henrik Larsson again. Can he keep it in? Yes, he can. Well dealt with by Andy Coram. Knocked into the near post. This was a useful opportunity for Celtic And what Henrik Larsson wanted to do was whip this in beyond Gorham. Jim Janssen very eager, but he's spotted it's Darren Jackson who's coming off. He's picked up a knock early on. Celtic have to make a switch, although it will be a straight switch, because Harold Brattbach will slot into exactly the position which was filled by Jackson. Away from Amoruso. Simon Donnelly's first touch let him down there. It's well done by Brian Laudrup, using his body to get away from Stubbs. He's away too from Lambert, got to the byline, and then couldn't quite find the extra bit of energy to knock the ball in. This was clever play to work the opening. All it was missing the final ball. Launched in by Lorenzo Amoruso, up was Richard Goff, away by Mark Rupert. Yunus Turn! What a goal by Turn! 25 minutes of the match gone. Walter Smith joins in the celebrations. Rangers have the breakthrough. He's been in tremendous form. He's on a hot streak, Turn. That's his 4th goal in the last 5 games. And Jonathan Gould was a mere spectator here as the volley exploded into the top corner behind him. It's taken a goal of real quality to break the deadlock. 1-0 Rangers. Alberts, he's found a bit of room, he's on his own. Good effort from him, beat down by Jonathan Gould. George Alberts doesn't need too many invitations in that sort of position. It was straight at Gould, but it was hit with ferocious power. And it meant that all the Scotland B goalkeeper could do was beat that away and hope to gather the rebound. Stubbs, away from Amoruso. Goff was behind him, lofted in by Paul Lambert. He's already experienced the joy of scoring an Old Firm goal. 2 goals in Celtic colours, but unlikely to equalise that time, and to equalise a very special goal from Turn, so sweetly struck. Jonathan Gould got the merest of touches, and that's the reaction the goal sparked in the Rangers director's box. Mark Reaper's header finding its way through to Henrik Larsson. Simon Donnelly getting himself away fast from Judy, then Alberts. Now linking up with Larsson. Brattbach is up ahead of him. Phil O'Donnell is out wide. Low and hard into the box. Shooting opportunity for Lambert. He'll be disappointed he didn't hit the target with that. He would have wanted to have forced Andy Gorham into a save here. It fell very invitingly for Lambert, but he hooked it well wide. Björklund finding McCoist. Judy for Brian Laudrup. Racing away, what pace he showed there to get to that. Nipped that away from Alan Stubbs. Cross missing Reaper. Unfortunately for Rangers, missing McCoist as well. Here's Turn. spotting Alberts in central midfield. Good composure from Burley. Pushing forward, Alan Stubbs. Came off Amoruso. Here's Paul Lambert. So close to an equaliser, Lambert. He's had a few shooting opportunities of late. This is his best effort so far on his left foot. And not far away from that Rangers goal. And he got him, flung himself across as that shot skimmed wide. And Brian Laudrup on halfway. His first job was to get away from Craig Burley. Joe McCall to Gordon Jury. Played that off Tom Boyd. Jury again with Boyd right behind him. And Laudrup with Annoni for company. He's done some great man-marking jobs, Annoni. This only his 12th start for Celtic this season. In from turn, George Alberts with the header. It was a good one, well directed away from Jonathan Gould. What it lacked was a bit of power. It will have meant a second Rangers goal. Well handled by Gould. Amoruso getting the better of Larsson. Flipped on by Jury for Alberts. It's a good return pass for Jury. He's away from Annoni. And a bad foul by the Italian. This will be a certain booking. Jury too quick for Annoni. And he was caught late. Booking for Annoni. Walter Smith has left his seat in the stand, now imparting some instructions from the dugout area. All smiles with Archie Knox, belying the tension of this fixture. 5 in the Celtic wall. George Alberts over the free kick. Lorenzo Amoruso alongside him. Hit that firmly, but Phil O'Donnell is alive to the situation. Alberts, the return pass from Jury. Here's Alberts doing his best to win it back. Free kick going against him for the tackle on Burley. Cleared by Goff, controlled on the chest of Lambert. Comfortable clearance that for Amoruso. There's brought back, finding Phil O'Donnell in an offside position. The Rangers defence had moved out, and that meant when the pass was played, O'Donnell marginally off. Play on, says Hugh Dallas. Boyd for Donnelly. 5 minutes of the first half left. Henrik Larsson eager to get on with the throw. And Hugh Dallas eager to have words with Gordon Jury. He's sprinting in field. Escaping George Alberts. That was aimed for O'Donnell, cut out by Goff. The flag was up. O'Donnell was offside, but that was a good intervention. Richard Goff, he read this very well. Good anticipation. I'm not so sure if O'Donnell was offside. Now Burley, hoping Paul Lambert was alongside him. He was a few yards back. Now Judy on the counter. Inside the last minute of the first 45. Tom Boyd's tackle on Brian Loudrick. A little nudge from Anoni and Loudrup. And it's a Rangers free kick. Wim Janssen looks nervously on. Two in the wall in front of Alberts. And Amaruso in the area. Goff there too. From Alberts, Richard Goff got a free header, and he's annoyed with himself, but he didn't make more of that. Well found by Alberts. Headed powerfully in, but directly at goal. That was a chance to make it 2, and make Rangers half-time lead a whole lot healthier. Boyd for Anoni. Nearly a minute of stoppage time played at the end of the first half. And that effort well away from the Rangers goal. Still waiting for his first Celtic goal, and after this, he'll have to wait a bit longer. That's half-time. And Rangers have what could be a precious half-time lead. Jonas Tern broke the deadlock with a stunning volley, which ripped into the net past Jonathan Gould from 25 yards. The keeper got a touch with his fingertips, but Jonas Tern celebrated, as did the Rangers fans. If the scoreline stays this way, they will go joint top of the Premier Division tonight. It's 1-0 at half-time. Celtic get the match restarted. They lost last Sunday in part 1 of this Old Firm double-header. That cost them a place in the Tennant Scottish Cup final. But they would view defeat here in part 2 as even more serious. A great wish of winning the first title in 10 years. Continue to drive them forward, desperate for success. Cleared by Amaruso. Amaruso so impressive, so dominant in the Rangers' defence in the first half. Good ball from Anoni. Phil O'Donnell stretching out, as did Joachim Bjorklund. Last touch off Bjorklund. And the first corner kick of the second half. Indeed, Celtic's first corner kick of the match. And it's taken by Simon Donnelly, given plenty air. Gordon Jury jumping at the edge of the box. Alan Stubbs, good control. And offside. The flag was up against Phil O'Donnell early on here. The pass was slipped through by Stubbs, 3 of them offside. Given away by Jonas Tern to Craig Burley. Reverse pass cut out by Tern. There, Henrik Larsson. Not the instant control we're used to from him. Hustled out by Alec Cleland. Another corner kick to Celtic. As Wim Janssen screams out instructions. trying desperately to make himself heard. There really is incredible noise inside Ibrox. Stubbs and Reaper are sorting out their tactics. The jump from Larsson. Alan Stubbs! Tipped away by Andy Gorham. Gorham continually a problem for Celtic in Old Firm matches. Such are his goalkeeping abilities. Knocked across by Reaper for Stubbs. These two are some combination. But they'll have to be better than that to beat Gorham. O'Donnell. Chased by Jury. Nodded the ball away and then seemed to be taken out by Lambert. Maybe not too much in the way of malice from Lambert, or indeed in the second look maybe there was. The elbow up. Laudrup on the move. And Nico Anoni trying to stay with him. Laudrup weaving his way along the byline. Hugh Dallas was very close to the action there, able to decide. It looked as if that was a foul by Anoni and Laudrup. Not given, presumably, because Hugh Dallas reckoned that Enrico Anoni got the ball here after Laudrup had appeared to be away from him. No, that looked a clear foul. A flick from Laudrup for Alberts, Ali McCoist. Rangers trying to counter-attack. Reverse pass from Alberts is a good one from McCoist. The early ball in, chased by Gould, doesn't get there. And away with the ball comes Phil O'Donnell. Rangers fans, management on the touchline looking for a free kick. They thought that was a foul on Jonas Ter. Meantime it's Henrik Larsson. And that's a bad tackle by Joachim Björklund, and it's another booking. And again, it's the pace and ability of Larsson which gets him away from players in this sort of situation. And it was a rash challenge by Björklund. Another yellow card. Back from Larsson to O'Donnell. Needs a good ball in. Cleared by Cleland. Donnelly got that away to Paul Lambert. Blocked by McCall. Simon Donnelly was looking for a free kick. Play rages on. Boyd to Lambert. Good run by Paul Lambert. Paul Lambert all the way! And sliced the shot wide at the end of it. This was superb skill from Lambert, weaving his way into the box, away from 4 Rangers players, but not the finish he was looking for. This was the moment. Andy Gorham came out to narrow the angle, but Paul Lambert will be very disappointed about this. Would have been a special goal, that's for sure. Donnelly to Lambert. Simon Donnelly again. Amaruso in hot pursuit. Won back by Albert. Gets the short pass from Jury. Driving through the midfield, Albert. Shaking off the challenge from Craig Burley. It's Albert! Just as he did last Sunday. Albert hammers in the second. 22 minutes of the second half gone, and Rangers very much back in business in the title race, and this could be the goal that kills off Celtic in part 2 of the Old Firm double-header, and this could be the goal that puts Rangers back on top of the Premier table. Superb composure, superb skill from Albert. Celebration time for Walter Smith. O'Donnell was short. Alan subs. Beaten by Ali McCoist. And Brian Laudrup was in an offside position. McCoist released the early ball there. Frustration on the face of Brian Laudrup, who was clearly off. Good play from Gattuso, got the return pass from Tern. Alberts and Laudrup in exactly the same place. Chipped in for Ali McCoist. A well-timed run. And he was well found as well by the left foot of Alberts. McCoist making his run across the box away from Reaper. But what he couldn't do here was keep the header down. Not surprisingly, glum faces among the Celtic support. I reckon that their team are plummeting towards what could be a very damaging defeat. George Alberts almost in again. Finding Ali McCoist. Off target for once. He knows this was a decent chance to make it 3. He skipped his marker. He was found by the Alberts pass, but he sliced the effort wide. That long run from Phil O'Donnell, tracked all the way by Brian Laudrup, and giving the ball to Richard Gough. The Rangers skipper was least expecting it there. In a very tight situation. It was calmly dealt with. And that's a good pass from Laudrup, which releases Alberts. It's 2 against 1. Ali McCoist alongside him. Here's McCoist! He's missed another chance and he can scarcely believe it. If the last one was a good opportunity, that one was a whole lot better. McCoist will not want to see this back. Set up by Alberts, and he pulled it wide of Jonathan Gould and wide of goal. Amoruso's header flicked on by McCall, and a neat flick as well from Alberts and then from Gattuso. Now McCoist trying to get up for the miss, bouncing off Mark Reaper. Free kick. Obstruction. Here's another opportunity for Rangers, because the man over the ball is Alberts. Hammered in. Jonathan Gould watched it very carefully. It swerved away, and in the end it was well wide of goal. Stumps being forced back by Tern. Reaper for Brattbakk. Now Henrik Larsson. That's for Harold Brattbakk. Chance here for Brattbakk. Blocked by Amoruso. Good opportunity here for Harold Brattbakk. It was a well-timed run. Slipped away from Cleland. But sliding in was Amoruso. Worrying times these now for Wim Jansen. He's made such an impression this season with Celtic. Laudrup. Return, left by McCoist for Alberts. Gattuso and McCoist up ahead of him. Rolled into the stride of Gattuso. And Rino Gattuso's effort knocked off the line by his fellow Italian Rico Annoni. This was a great effort in making it 3. Very composed. Gattuso tried to slide this into the net. And through the legs of Gould. Away from Annoni. Alberts with the corner. Reaper with the header. That was Tern. Knocked across by Gattuso. And that's full time. A shake of the hands between Walter Smith and Wim Jansen. And the Rangers fans celebrate the fact that their team are back on top of the Premier Division. Richard Gough and Andy Gorham
in their last Old Firm matches go out in real style. And will this be the result which gives Rangers a springboard towards 10 titles on the trot? George Albert scored the second goal. That's the goal that means that they topple Celtic from the top of the table on goal difference. The two teams are level now on points, and it promises to be an intriguing title run-in. But Rangers have certainly bounced back. 2 Old Firm wins on consecutive Sundays. One took them to the Scottish Cup final, and one has put them firmly back in title contention. This was the first goal. Jonas Tern burying that volley behind Jonathan Gould. And the second was from Albert's, reminiscent of the run which brought him his goal in the Cup semi-final. And again, Jonathan Gould was left to pick the ball out. Walter Smith, in his last Old Firm match, was able to celebrate the final score at Ibrox. Rangers 2, Celtic 0.
Walter, your Old Firm career ending on a high.
Yes, we're very pleased about that. Better pleased that Rangers are a better place now in the Championship, and the fact that my last Old Firm game was a victory. I'm pleased that we've got ourselves back into pole position in the Championship. That's the main thing.
We are disappointed because we lost the game today, and especially the first half. I think we play well, and they scored a goal, and I think that's always the problem, because when they score a goal, we have to chase it after that. And you know, the goals are always the decision in the game, and we chase the 1-0 at that time, and yeah, we give at the time a little bit too much space away, especially in the second half, and they scored the second. And you know, if you see the whole game, it wasn't really necessary, but because if you see the teams, I think if there's a draw, nobody could tell anything about that.
Does that give you a psychological edge, having beaten Celtic twice in 2 weeks?
I think they have to feel the pressure now. Yeah, they have to win every game that's remaining, because we're going to do our best to win our games. So, like I said before, I think it's going to be until then, until the last round, it's going to be very tough.
It all makes for an exciting run-in to the title, because this is a result today which will please Hearts, I'm sure, as well.
Well, certainly Hearts are still involved now. They still have Rangers to play, so they're involved, and we'll all need to keep on our toes.
So Rangers go back to the top of the Premier Division. And Gordon, what impressed me about Rangers today was their strength and directness. What for you was the crucial difference between the sides?
Well, they're a strong side. I think that I'm impressed with Rangers' ability to grind out results when they need them. Even today, for spells, Celtic were on top again, like the cup match. But Rangers just wait their time, and they take their chances as well. Celtic are failing to take their opportunities when they're getting them, but Rangers are, and in the end up, they could have won comfortably, even more comfortably again. They could have won by 4 or 5 when you consider the chances they also missed.
Rangers ahead on goal difference only. I guess Celtic have to remember that they're still up there at the top of the league, but how damaging a psychological blow has this been for them today?
Well, you can't rule out psychology at this stage, Hazel, because it's a league championship, there's a run-in. It's very, very vital that you know, both sides continue to get results. But Celtic have lost a good lead, and that's the main factor from their point of view. They really could have put Rangers out of sight at this stage, and they haven't done it. And with 4 games to go, Rangers are on top now, albeit by 1 goal, which is very, very meagre. But it means that Celtic have continued to have the pressure piled on them.
It was Jonas Tern who got the breakthrough, and it was Rangers' 100th goal of the season in all competitions, worthy of that special status.
Yeah, it was. It was a fantastic strike. I mean, the ball was delivered from the free kick, headed out. I think it was Stubbs that won the header. Tern took 1 touch and then volleyed it, and it was a fantastic hit. I mean, you won't see a ball struck much harder than that.
And then George Albert's, almost a carbon copy of last week. I think that's the surprising thing. Were you surprised at how badly Celtic defended it?
Yeah, they didn't defend it too well, because when you consider that George Albert's is absolutely brilliant on his left side, he wants to get onto his left foot, and he's most dangerous when he is on that left side. And he manoeuvred himself into position, got it onto that left foot, and from a bit further out this time, 20 yards, he delivered a stunning shot into the corner net, and at that stage it was beyond Celtic, but that was what's happening. Rangers began to get through them once again in that midfield area, with Celtic had been strong throughout the game.
Indeed, just before that, moments before it, Paul Lambert's solo run perhaps deserved a goal at the end of it. Was that for you a turning point in the match?
Yeah, I think it was. I think if they got back on terms there, they might have had a chance, but it was a superb work by Paul Lambert. I mean, he doesn't normally find himself in such forward positions, but he had about 4 efforts today. None of them on target, has to be said, but he was probably the most dangerous player from Celtic's point of view. But he was so unlucky. The ball just lost a little bit of control at the end, sliced his shot really, when if he delivered it with the inside of his foot, he would have scored.
How crucial were Andy Goram's interventions this afternoon?
Well, Gorham continues to be important for Rangers, especially against Celtic. I mean, his record against them is fantastic. He's broken the hearts on many occasions, and I think today, once again, everything he had to do was tidy. Nothing really spectacular, but 1 or 2 saves, he made them look easy when actually they're a lot more difficult than that.
Well, 4 games to go, Gordon. Let's have a look at that run-in, and all of a sudden, the game in 2 weeks' time, Hearts against Rangers, assumes massive importance.
Well, it's a crucial game for both sides, but we don't know how much it's going to mean to Hearts at this stage. Rangers have got the harder run-in. I mean, you just look at it and you think it's Aberdeen away, Hearts away, they've got Kilmarnock at home and then Dundee United away. They couldn't have 3 harder away games than that, really. But at this stage of the season, when they've got themselves back in the hunt, who would bet against them winning those 4 games? And I think that probably the team that does win the 4 games will probably take the championship.
Would you prefer to have Celtic's run-in with 3 home games?
Well, home games are also a pressure, Hazel. I mean, it looks on paper better, but Celtic have failed to win their last 3 home games. They're going to have to improve in that record if they're going to win the league. I think at this stage it's still wide open, but you've got to say that you know, it should be in Celtic's favour. But we've said that all along, and Rangers are still right there.
Thanks, Gordon. And we'll be back with a look at the home stretch in this fascinating Premier Division run-in on Friday Sports Scene this week, BBC One Scotland, 10:20. But in the meantime, we'll leave you with the 2 goals that took Rangers back to the top of the Premier Division. From us all here at Ibrox, good night.